Hello and welcome to a showcase and kind of playthrough video of a game called Jurrasic Trail. This is a simple game which uses only 18 cards and it has dinosaurs. So let me show you what we have in this deck. So in deck of 18 cards we had three types of dinosaurs. We have these herbivores, we have these omnivores, and we have these carnivores. Distinguishes between these little icons. So carnivores have a little bone icon, herbivores have of course a leaf, and the omnivores have both icons, so they kind of can be used for both purposes. Each dinosaur also has his speed, walking speed, represented with these little footsteps, and each of them also has a hierarchy number, which is basically how tough they are. Each of these cards is also used as a scoring card, and this is where this little ribbon on the left side comes into play. So you can score two things at the end of the game. Bottom part of the ribbon is basically for each carnivore in your scoring pile I get 3 points, and because these cards will be played in the little column, if the top card of the column is herbivore and the bottom card of the column is herbivore, I would score 5 points if I manage to do that. Also, these little arrows doesn't just show you where the cards should be in the column, they also show you in which direction these dinosaurs can move when you play them inside that column, which is called Jurrasic Trail. So let's set up the game, and in this case I'm gonna play against the Automa, because this game is for 2 players, but you can play it solo against the Automa. When you're playing 2-player games, you don't have any limitations. You're gonna get 7 cards, you're gonna play 6 out of those 7 cards will be used for scoring. When you're playing against the Automa, almost all the same, but there are some limitations which cards you can actually play from your hand. So let me show you how you play against the Automa. So you shuffle a deck. Setup is quite simple. You're gonna draw 2 cards, one for me, one for the Automa. This will decide who's gonna play first. Whoever has the highest hierarchy. I have a 6, Automa has a 4, so I'm gonna play first in this round. You play 3 rounds, and whoever has the most points in those 3 rounds is the winner of the game. Then you're gonna draw 2 more cards, and from them you're gonna form a little column here, which we're gonna call Jurrasic Trail, and you're gonna form it in that way that the highest hierarchy cards is on the top of the column and the lowest is on the bottom. So 18, 16, 6 and 4. So this is our Jurrasic Trail. You can already see that on top of the column we have a carnivore, and on the bottom we also have a carnivore. The rest of the cards you will deal to yourself and to Automa. You're gonna get 7 cards for me and 7 for the Automa. You play openly, Automa play openly, and let's set up the Automa first. So what we are looking for is the highest hierarchy card in the hand for the Automa, and that would be this 15 here, this Allosaurus. So we'll set this aside immediately. This will be a scoring, to objective and scoring card for the Automa. So Automa wants to have 2 herbivores on top of the column, and for each carnivore it's gonna score 2 points. Which means Automa probably want to get some carnivores in the scoring pile. The rest of the cards you have to split on carnivores and herbivores. So something like this. And for the purpose, since this can be herbivore or carnivore, you can treat it like that, and you will see how that works. But the most important thing, this card also tells you which one of these 2 types will be played first. So Automa will start by playing the highest hierarchy herbivore card. In this case, that's this Parasaurolophus dinosaur. This could be herbivore too, but it is the lowest hierarchy, so we're gonna use it here. All right, let's see what hand of cards I got. So same limitations goes for me. When I'm playing this card, must be a highest hierarchy, either carnivore or herbivore card, or omnivore, which could be both basically. So in this case, if I choose this to be like a carnivore, this would be 70 is actually highest, but if I choose to be like herbivore, that's actually my highest card. So on my turn, and since I'm going first, I can either play this Oviraptor or I can play this Albertosaurus. And then later on, I do not have to Automa is just gonna continue playing the highest highest hierarchy card for its hand, while I also can do the same, but I have to, as I said, choose either carnivore or herbivore. Although I can like play two carnivores turn after turn. I don't have to like jump from one to the other. And this is important, but because the lowest card, be that carnivore or herbivore, would be my scoring card. So either it's gonna be this Trodon or it's gonna be this Ankylosaurus. So if we look at this objective, if let's say it's gonna be Trodon, my objective card, last card I'm gonna keep in hand, I probably want to have some carnivore and herbivore on the bottom, like this right now, like there. That would score me 5 points, and I probably want some carnivores in my scoring pile. So either push from this trail or eaten, or we'll see how that works. Alright, so some basic rule for this Jurassic Trail. The maximum cards you have in it is 6. Everything that goes beyond 6 is going to either be pushed out from top or from the bottom. And if it happens that some card is moved from top to the bottom before we have 6, it's just going to stay there. It's not going to go out until we actually fill the column out of these 6 cards. Alright, so I'm playing first, and these are my choices. Either this Oviraptor or the Albertosaurus. So I think now it's time to talk what happens if the carnivore lands on the herbivore. And by the way, you move these cards, these little arrows, not just pointing the like final position of the cards you want to have on the end of the game. It actually points you in which direction these dinosaurs can move. So this Albertosaurus could move 4 spaces from bottom to top. So he will land here if I choose to play him. Or this Oviraptor would move down 5. So he will just land here and become the part of the trail if I choose to play that. Alright, which actually wouldn't be a bad solution, but not that good either. Alright, so let's talk what happens when the carnivore lands on the herbivore. Alright, so first thing you're gonna check is their speed. If carnivore has a higher speed than the herbivore, herbivore is gonna get eaten. Is gonna go into my scoring pile, because any card that gets pushed or eaten during my turn becomes my card. So this Albertosaurus just would eat these Triceratops. But if they have the same speed, like in this case here, then you check the hierarchy. Whoever has the highest hierarchy will stay here, while the other animal will actually run. And if they have the same speed, the other animal will run its full speed, so all 4 spaces in this direction, so it will land here, just become part of the trail. Now if in some case this Triceratops has the highest hierarchy, different would happen. He would stay, and this Albertosaurus will actually have to move, and again he will move full speed if their speed the same. But if they have a different speed, like for instance, let's say this Albertosaurus was slower than this Triceratops, and Triceratops has a higher hierarchy also. Well, in that case, a Triceratops would stay, and Albertosaurus will move difference between these two speeds in his direction. So difference, let's say this was a 5 and this was a 4, he will move 1 space, he will land on the another, dinosaur, and then similar would happen. But in case of the two carnivores, they cannot eat actually each other. What they do, they just actually they can. Sorry, that's not true. They can eat each other. So again, you would check who has the highest speed. The lower speed is eaten. If not, if they have the same speed, then you check who has the highest hierarchy. It must move. And if there is a difference between speed, either it's going to move full speed or it's going to move just a few spaces depending on that difference. So in this case, if I would play this Albertosaurus, as I said, he will move all the way up to here. And let's actually play that. So we check. They're both large dinosaurs, they both have the same speed, but this guy has the highest hierarchy, which means this guy has to move his full speed up. So 4 spaces, but we still don't have a like full trail, so he'll just move here. Now we have 5 cards in the trail, and that would be my turn. Automa then would play, it always, as I said, starts with the highest herbivore and then plays the highest card after that, whichever it is. So in this case, it would play this Parasauropus. It's gonna move 1, 2, 3 here. Those are 2 herbivores. First, we always check their hierarchy when they are same. Like if it's like 2 carnivores or 2 herbivores, we check their hierarchy first. So Triceratops is gonna stay. This guy has a lower speed. So he will move the difference between 2 speeds, so 4 minus 3 is 1. He will move downwards 1. He will land on this Talarurus. Check hierarchy, he will now stay. Okay, but this guy, difference between the speed is, they're both herbivores, so you're checking hierarchy. Difference between speed is now 1 again, but this guy can move up or down. So in case for the Automa, Automa will always choose if it's gonna score it, it's gonna choose that direction. So let's check. It's gonna score it if the dinosaur is pushed, like if this carnivore is pushed. So if this is moved here, the carnivore is actually gonna eat him. So that's not gonna cause pushing for carnivore. So it's gonna go actually here. So then again, we check who has the highest hierarchy. Triceratops stays. Difference is 1. Okay. And this time, since we choose this direction to move, it's gonna continue that direction. So it has to land here. It's a Tyrannosaurus, but he's actually slower, so he will not catch this Talarurus. Talarurus gonna again move up 1 speed. Here, same thing. This guy will not be able to catch him, and he will move up here. And let's check something up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have now 6 cards in our Jurrasic Trail. All right. So any card that now moves out from this will be pushed and will be score, basically. Back to me. Now my options now are either to play this Oviraptor as my, or if I choose him to be carnivore, yeah, that would be my highest carnivore. But if I choose him as a herbivore, then I have an option between the Velociraptor and him. Okay, let's check it out what's gonna happen. So if I play the Velociraptor, he's gonna move down 5 spaces. He's gonna move here, and he has a higher speed than this little herbivore, so he's just gonna eat him. And I'm gonna get a herbivore in my pile, which means I probably don't want to keep any of these cards which give me points for the herbivores. So let's actually do that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands here, eats this dinosaur, and I have something in my score pile. Back to Automa. The highest card for the Automa right now is 12, so he's gonna play this. 1, 2, 3, it's gonna land here. We check the hierarchy. Tyrannosaur stays. This guy has to move down one space. He will move here. Alright, now we check. It is a Spinosaurus, but Triceratops has the highest hierarchy. Well, first you check who has the highest speed. If the carnivore has the highest speed, he will just eat him, but actually Triceratops has the highest speed. And then you check the hierarchy. Well, he has the highest, so he will stay, and this guy will have to move the difference between 4 and 3. He will move here. And now we check. Two carnivores. This has a higher speed. Velociraptor actually is going to eat Spinosaurus, right? Because high speed, he's going to catch him up, and Spinosaurus will go to the scoring pile for the Automa. Alright, now I have a choice. I can either play this 14 as my highest carnivore card, or in which case I can also play this 13 as my highest herbivore card, or if I choose this to be a herbivore, this will be 14 and this will be my highest carnivore cards. So either Indosuchus or Oviraptor. I'm actually going to choose to play the Oviraptor. So he can move 5 down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He will land on the Velociraptor. We check their speeds, they are the same. Then we check the hierarchy. Velociraptor has to move. His full speed from this space downward goes to my scoring pile. Alright, so now I have one carnivore, one herbivore in my scoring pile. So I have some choices now. I'm probably going to score something. Alright, back to Automa. The highest card for the Automa is the 10. So this Corythosaurus gonna move 3 spaces up here. We check the hierarchy. This guy has the highest hierarchy. Check the difference with speeds, 1. So this guy is gonna move here 1. And he's lower than Tyrannosaurus, so Tyrannosaurus is gonna eat him. And so that's gonna score for the Automa. Back to me. Now I can either play this Ankylosaurus or Indosuchus. Okay, let me check something. Probably want to play this Indosuchus. So I can move him from bottom or top 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's go like this. We check the speed. He's gonna get eaten by the Tyrannosaurus. Lower speed, so we don't have to even check the hierarchy. Bam. Back to Automa. Automa is gonna play this Graciliceratops, which moves 6 spaces here. Now they have the same speed, which means we check the hierarchy. He has the highest, so he will actually stay, and this guy is gonna get pushed into the scoring pile for the Automa. Back to me. I can either play Nososaurus or this Ankylosaurus. I actually want to keep this for scoring, but I have to somehow change this into carnivore if it's possible, and I think I can. No, I can't do that yet. This is not really good for me. I'm probably not gonna get 5 points. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets eaten. Well, but that's not good for me. So I'm gonna play this Nososaurus, which moves 6 from top, so he will land here. They both have the same speed. Then we check the hierarchy. Gracilaptor stays, which means this guy is gonna move, so I'm gonna get him into my scoring pile. Back to Automa. Automa is gonna play this, which moves 6 up to here. Alright, so now we check. Automa wants to play it as a herbivore, so as a herbivore with another herbivore, we basically check the hierarchy. So this guy stays, this one must move one space up, goes here. And my last card, either this one or I'm gonna play Trodon. So he's gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They are of the same speed, but Albertosaurus stays, so he moves full and out. And last card for Automa is this Zalmoxes, which gonna move down. You always look the little arrow on the objective, so he moves 1, 2, 3, 4. Same speed, so Triceratops stays. He has to move down full speed. He goes out of the trail and into the scoring pile. So time to score. Automa needed 2 herbivores on top of the trail to score 5 points. No, that's not gonna happen. And for me, I needed on the bottom carnivore to score 5 points. No, that's not gonna happen either. Automa gets 2 points for each carnivore. So 1, this is also carnivore, so 1, 2, 3. So that's a 6 points for Automa. And I score 2 points for each herbivore. That's only 2 points against 6 that Automa, and Automa wins the first round. And then we go again and again, and that will be that. So I guess that shows you how the game works. As you can see, you have a limitation when playing against the Automa, but when playing against other players, there are no such limitation. You can play any card from your hand. Of course, following the speed and the direction that you can play them. And as you play these cards, they will cascade, basically do some other cards to move, and that's, you have to watch in, you know, 2 steps in forward, and depending what your opponent is gonna do. And you also have to know which card to keep for the final scoring, because the most points you can score by, you know, setting the trail so it has a position of dinosaur on your objective card, so you can score those 5 points. So that's the whole game. Not much complicated, plays really fast, and a simple filler with 18 cards. So see you next time with some other game, and as always, if you like stuff that I make, please just put a little like or subscribe. See you next time, and goodbye.